Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make cheese twists, which include not only a rough puff pastry, but also marmite. Before the end of this video, I will be like tasting this straight up. So if you don't know what this is, I honestly don't. I ordered it. So we will see um, what this tastes like. But it is a ingredient in our cheese twist that I could not find a substitute for. So we will see. So this is supposedly a great introduction to a rough puff pastry, which is awesome because I have not done one. If you've seen some of my other episodes where I needed to fold flour, I literally had to think about it way too many times to figure out what they were talking about, but I think I have this one today. So what we are going to do is start with 300 grams of plain flour, all-purpose flour. I've already got it sifted and in my bowl, ready to go. And then I'm going to add half a teaspoon of salt. So just a half a teaspoon there. And then I need to grate butter into my flour. And it says using the coarse side of a grater. If you've ever done that, it's exhausting. And if that's all you have, great. I have this handy dandy tool on the front of my mixer, as you can see, that I am going to have it grate it for me. So it's going to get kind of loud, but it literally has a grater in this thing. And I just put 200 grams of unsalted butter. So I'm just going to stick some of it right in here and get my butter grating. Okay, I've got all my butter, my 200 grams. I did make sure that it was thoroughly chilled, so mine was actually mostly frozen. I do that all the time with that grater anyway. So I have 200 grams of thoroughly chilled butter grated into my flour and salt, and I just need to lightly mix the butter into the flour. I'm just going to coat the butter basically so that it has flour over it. Okay. Break up some of the bigger chunks. And now I need to stir 150 milliliters of ice cold water and my lemon juice or vinegar into the flour mixture. I opted for lemon juice today, so I'm going to start with the lemon juice just because it gives me a specific amount in that. So you can use either 1 teaspoon of lemon juice or white wine vinegar. Like I said, I'm going for lemon juice. And probably would taste better or whatever if you use fresh. It is not the season for lemons in my state right now, so that is not what we're using. Okay, and 150 milliliters of the water. So I literally have a chunk of ice in here, so I'm going to hold it back and put most of this water in. I have just a little bit over 150 milliliters because it says I could need up to 4 teaspoons more. And then using a palette knife, I guess, not my fingers this time. All right. Again, the specifics on the tools always is kind of interesting. Does it matter if I use something else? All right, I'm going to bring the dough together, like I said, and I can add up to 4 teaspoons of extra water if I needed until I have a rough dough. Now here's the thing, I don't know. I know it probably doesn't want you to use your hands because it doesn't want you to warm up the butter and the ice cold water, which makes perfect sense to me. But what doesn't make sense is whether this is a rough dough. Because I am going to have to pour this out basically onto the counter and form it into, roll it out with a rolling pin. Is this a rough dough? I'm going to go with it because I used all the water. It said 170 milliliters was like your maximum, and I have it all in there. So I'm just going to go with this. So I'm going to lightly flour my work surface. I also, you can see I have a ruler out because we are going to have to put it out to a certain measurement. Today is 12 centimeters by 36 centimeters, so that's why I have my ruler out. If I put this out into a, yeah, flatten into a neat square. All right, let's flatten into a neat square. I hope the word neat isn't an emphasis on this one. I mean, it's kind of more of a rectangle. But anyway, it's neat-ish. Okay, I've got my rolling pin, and now it says to use sharp tapping motions to roll the dough to a 36 by 12 centimeter rectangle, one of the short sides closest to you. Okay, so I've got this. It's about 12 centimeters wide already. So I'm just going to try to get it to 36 centimeters long. Which is probably about there. It's not exactly holding together. Now I've got to fold it. So I neatly fold the bottom third of the pastry up and the middle third, or the bottom top third down over to cover it. Let's see if I can do this. Okay. Okay. That didn't go so bad. Okay, and now I need to turn the dough clockwise. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's clockwise or counter. It's just a corner of turn. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Roll the dough out into a rectangle as before. So again, beating it, I guess. Now I need to repeat the folding. Probably doesn't matter if I go up or down first. Should put more flour on next time, just so I don't get all this sticking. Okay, so I have a neat for me, rectangle, and I need to carefully wrap in cling wrap, which I already have set. Okay, all right, so wrapped it up. It's in cling wrap. It's all nice, and I'm going to put it in chill for 1 hour. Okay, it has been an hour, so I'm going to do the next step here. So I got my dough. I'm going to unwrap it from my cling wrap. And so I lightly floured my work surface again and roll it out as before. Ooh, kind of sticky. I probably put more flour on it this time, the work surface that is, than last time, which it was kind of sticking a little bit. So that was my fix. I'm going to also put a little bit more on my rolling pin itself. So it just says roll it out as before. So I'm assuming that means with the same motion. It also doesn't say, well, I do the folding part again. Okay, but it doesn't say to do, it just says as before. So I'm just going to assume that meant the turning part too. Because if nothing else, it's just going to give us more layers, right? I don't know if I'm beating this too hard. I feel like I probably am. Okay. And I'm going to fold it again. Okay. Looks really nice. Nice book fold. I don't know if that's really what a book fold looks like. All right. And then I wrap it again. And I'm going to chill it for another hour. This is going to be kind of a lengthy thing. Chilling. While we are waiting for the dough to chill for another hour, I do want to entertain you with some tasting of some Marmite. I don't know what this is. Honestly, I googled a little bit of it to see if I could find a substitute in the States, and I don't know what would be the best substitute because I have no idea what yeast extract is. We have yeast, and we have nutritional yeast flakes that have become kind of a thing over here, but I don't know. This has a weird smell. Okay, Oh, that is not what I was expecting. This is kind of like Vegemite. I've never been over to Australia. Okay, right now it's looking like molasses. I know it's kind of a spread. I do believe anybody from the UK can tell me otherwise, that this is like, you use it like on toast. That is an interesting smell. All right, anyway, I am going to taste some Marmite. You guys like this stuff? Guys, that's disgusting. Oh, seriously. What is that? All right. Whew. I'm going to try to describe it to you, because if you are in the States and you cannot find this, I ordered it from Amazon, so it is possible to order it. Hold on. That is really disgusting. Anyway, no. Soy sauce. It kind of tastes like soy sauce. Like, I'm definitely getting a hint of that. Maybe some Worcestershire sauce, something like that. So if you go to make this recipe, the cheese twist, don't order the $7 bottle of Marmite. Use like soy sauce or something, and I'll show you that later. But seriously, guys, that's disgusting. Okay, it has been 1 more hour, and I have got my dough out of the fridge, and I have got to fold and roll it one more time. All right, and then fold. And again, it didn't necessarily say whether or not to do the second part. It just says like the first time. So I'm just going to assume more layers is better. Okay, I have it folded. Again, nice little fold there. And I need to wrap it back up one more time. And then I am going to let it chill for 2 to 4 hours now. So done with the 1 hours, but now I got 2 to 4 hours. Okay, it has been about 2.5 hours. So I went, kind of in the middle of the 2 to 4. And we need to take our dough out and put it on a lightly floured surface again. Here we go. And I need to cut the dough in half. So I'm going to do that right away, because I guess we're going to work on it 1/2 at a time so that we can keep half of it cold. So I'm just going to throw this other half back in the refrigerator. So now, while I am chilling that one still, I'm going to roll this one out into a 35 centimeter square. A neat 35 centimeter square. That neat word always gets me. So again, I have my ruler out, so it's going to be pretty big. Okay, so over a foot square. It just says roll, so no weird tapping motions now. Okay, it's not exactly a square, and I, of course, just folded it there. But it's pretty close, and it is about as close to 35 centimeters as I'm going to get it. So there we are. Okay, so I have gently warmed my Marmite, so it's runny, slightly runny. This stuff stinks. Guys, how do you use this to bake? Okay, and I know I tasted it and it wasn't good, but I'm hoping, I don't take a spoonful of soy sauce either. So I'm hoping with everything else, it'll be okay. All right, using a pastry brush, dab half of it all over the top of the pastry. It will not brush smoothly, but don't worry. dab half of it all over. Okay, so I'm just doing it over the whole pastry, but only half of the marmite. Man, part of me wants to do one of these without this stuff because it stinks. Okay, that is about half. It did not brush smoothly, so that's what it is. Okay. Scatter half of the grated cheese. Oh, I had 3 tablespoons of marmite. Did I say that? I don't think I did. 3 tablespoons. So it's about a tablespoon and a half here. I'll use the other half, or a tablespoon and a half on the other half. I've got 250 grams of shredded cheddar cheese, so I'm going to use about half of that. And it says evenly over the bottom half of the pastry square, because I'm going to fold it anyway, so I'm really hoping this cheese balances out the marmite. And then we are going to fold the top half down to cover. Okay. Lightly roll the pastry cheese and marmite sandwich together. Gently roll. I guess just to kind of smoosh it together. Got my 1 to 2 tablespoons of milk. I'm going to brush that over. I guess it probably isn't too specific as long as you have milk. Now lightly brush and scatter with poppy seeds. So I've got 2 tablespoons of poppy seeds. So I'm going to probably put about a tablespoon here. Using a long, sharp knife, cut into 16 strips about 2 centimeters wide. So, okay. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter how many there are, as long as they're about the same width. All right, how many did I even get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, close enough. Okay, and then I guess I could, bake this trimming and not worry about it. But I'm just going to bake it with the rest of it. Twist each pastry strip 3 times along its length. Oops, I didn't quite cut all the way through on this first one. Okay, so 3 times. That's oddly specific. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then I'm just going to place it on my baking strip, or my pastry baking sheet. Man, I can't talk. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, it didn't necessarily say whether these puff up or not, so I'm not sure how far to put them on the far apart, but I do need to chill these while I work on the second half. Okay, I've got the second batch done. The cheese doesn't want to stay in the twist very much. I mean, I got a lot of leftover cheese on here. I think I'm just going to sprinkle it, especially on these trimming ones. Anyway, I cannot fit both of these trays of the twists in my oven at the same time, and it says to chill them for 30 minutes before baking. So I've already started the timer for the chilling of the first batch, so I'll get that in 20 minutes when it's done chilling, and then I'll do this one staggered. So 30 minutes for them to chill after you have them all nice and trayed. Okay, my timer just went off. These have been chilling for 30 minutes. I'm now going to put them in the oven at 390 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees Celsius, for 18 minutes or until they are crisp and golden. All right, it's been about 20 minutes, but I do think they're done. Okay, there we go. They weren't quite golden at the 18-minute mark, or at least the pastry part. So they've goldened up a little bit. So they're looking good. I'm going to get the other ones in the oven, and then I'm going to let them both cool and crisp up on the baking sheets. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the tasting part of my episode. I have brought back my husband to help taste the cheese twist today.
I'm not dead. She hasn't succeeded.
All right. So they do look really good. nice and crisp, golden. This is from the first batch. So we're gonna probably taste one from each batch because, yeah, it's a little different. All right.
Yeah, it's got poppy seed, so you might be trying to kill me.
All right.
It tastes good enough. I know that's high praise. Tastes good enough.
Yeah, it's got a nice flake to it. I apparently did pretty good with the laminations. I don't know what you can see. It might be too close.
Not that much. Yeah.
Anyway, there's pretty good layers. Yeah. It tastes the cheddar.
I don't really taste the poppy seed, but I don't know what poppy seed is supposed to taste like.
Yeah.
So there's that. All I know is that when you were making them, the house didn't smell that great.
I haven't told him anything about how I baked this or anything. So
I'm really curious now. Maybe she is trying to kill me.
no, I'm gonna try the second batch because there was less of the other ingredient that I haven't mentioned yet that I can totally taste in that one.
The other ingredient. Oh,
I like this one better. I would recommend leaving the marmite out of this equation.
is that what this is?
Yeah, there's marmite in there.
Huh.
Anyway, there was a lot more in the first batch because
Sorry, what's Marmite?
exactly. It's British. And I'll show you the video of me tasting it later.
I don't know that it's that bad. I mean, again, that's another raving quality, something on my part, but
I like it like this. Don't eat marmite straight. Just don't do it. Don't. It's okay muted in a pastry or something. Yeah. Just tastes good. It's like a little cheese breadstick. It's good.
yeah.
Anyway, that's why I brought him on, because I was a little bit biased on the flavor of the ingredients today.
Okay, that explains it.
But anyway, if you enjoyed this bake, please subscribe, like this video, and then go watch some of the other ones. There's lots of good ones out there. And I will see you next bake.
Marmite be darned.